So, Gillian, you make 19K a month helping people eat raw food?
Exactly. Actually, it's more than 19 because if you count the MRR plus, a lot of people in my community pay yearly because I give a discount. So I'd say it's actually some months probably around 25 or 30.
Even better.
Yeah, it's great. Doing what I love, helping people eat real food.
Well, why is that your passion? Why did you make a school about that?
Well, after I had my second daughter, I guess it was 13 years ago now, I had a lot of health problems and the doctors couldn't figure out what was wrong, like panic attacks, anxiety, depression, really bad back acne, really bad digestive problems. That was like the main source of my problems. And like panic attacks and problems that were so bad, they were sending me to the ER a lot. So the doctors just couldn't figure out what was wrong. And it led me down a rabbit hole of trying a bunch of different diets. And I'm actually blood type O, which they say should be heavy meat diet. So I even tried that, like nothing. I was thriving. And I was like dedicated to trying each diet. This wasn't just like 2 days each diet. And then I read something by Dr. Sebi who talked about the electric power, the enzymes, the water content, the life in raw food. So I thought this makes so much sense just to eat raw food. And then I tried it and I felt like my true self for the first time. I never felt better by the end of the first day. And it fixed all my health problems. And so it's really had me hooked ever since.
Wow. So you're doing the classic school thing where it's like you experience this own journey for yourself, you get great results, you're super passionate about it, and then you naturally want to share that with other people.
Exactly.
And, every single schooler watching this, we always say, it's like, you might not teach people how to eat raw food. You might teach them how to knit or how to play pickleball or how to optimize your Facebook ads. But we're going to dive into Gillian's strategy right now and how she was able to win the school games, how she was able to build her school, and you're able to take lots of great success tips. So the first question, Gillian, very simply, is how the heck do you drive traffic to your school about page? How do you actually get people to get on that landing page?
So mainly from my YouTube channel.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And you have to find what works, right? So I have found that my YouTube lives are very effective. I love going live on YouTube. This is something I started within the last couple months. And I think because on the lives for me, I'm connecting with them, answering questions, kind of more authentic and more real because you're talking to people and you're connecting more, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I try and just be really authentic and be myself through like the good and the bad. And I feel like people really like that. They connect with that. And so the lives I have found are very effective. And also because I have a group that typically a lot of people are experiencing great health results. So I have people in there that are like, oh, I got off 9 medications. I reversed this. I'm so happy now. No more depression. So I get inspired by that because I'm a podcaster. I bring them on and that typically helps get a lot of members too.
So cool.
Yeah.
And the lives, like what sort of format do your lives take? Like, are you kind of just hanging out? Are you chatting? Or is it like very, very scripted? Like what
No,
do you find works for you?
My podcasts are more like structured. My lives are just like me in the kitchen on the phone, horizontal, because
Wow.
I know if you go vertical on YouTube, it's not as effective if you're on a live. So just horizontal in the kitchen, making a recipe, talking to them.
Wow.
Yeah.
And have you ever heard like a ka-ching from school whenever you're on a live?
Yes. I've heard them.
That's so hilarious.
It is hilarious. And in my calls on school sometimes.
Wow.
Yeah.
And so do you pitch on the lives? How do you actually get people from the live to your school? Like, what's that actual mechanism look like?
So it will depend what's going on. If I'm making a recipe, I can talk about how you get all my recipe books when you join my awesome community. And if I'm about to travel, I'll talk about, we're doing a meetup for Club Raw. Come join our awesome community. And then now many times people from my club will pop in the live and they'll be in the comments, Club Raw is amazing, join Club Raw.
Wow.
And so it's a whole system like that. Or if I'm doing free trial, I found free trial effective to do for like a short period of time. People like urgency. Humans just like, I'm only going to be able to get this for a short time. So before the school games, I did free trial turned on only for 48 hours.
Mm-hmm.
So then on the lives, I was talking about that. And so I got, I think 350 members just in that 2 days from the free trial.
Wow.
Yeah. And then about 60% stayed after. So I think that was pretty good.
So good.
Yeah.
Yeah, one of my school friends, Robert Venter, he helps people learn Spanish. And he did TikTok live and he realized like he could start to use certain words that would lead to more ka-chings out of school. So he's able, like, through the whole live thing and connecting with his audience, he's able to see, oh, wow, when I pitch it this way, more people sign up.
Yeah.
And he loves the free trial method for that scarcity and urgency reason where it's like, I've turned the free trial on. It's like, you can use it right now. It's not going to be on later on. It's just like a really nice way to actually get people to make that commitment.
I agree. And I just want to say quick too, like when I do my lives or I do any type of content, I always think first and foremost how I can add value, not just like about the sales, right? If you're just doing something for the money or for the sales, people are going to see right through that. And it's not a good intention really, like at the end of the day. I mean, it is obviously my group helps so many people and it is good, but I think first and foremost, you have to think, how can I add value? And then they want more anyway, right? They're like, oh, this is amazing. I'm learning this and this. Like, I want to go to this community.
Yeah.
Or just you have to think how you can add value.
Right. So you're literally just in your kitchen, phone, horizontal.
Yeah, phone.
Definitely not
Or
vertical.
no, this is vertical. This
Oh, it
way.
is
Because this is
vertical.
vertical. Sorry, up and down. Yeah, because I've noticed when I go
That's
this
so
way.
funny. The time's 9:16, and that's
Yeah.
also the aspect ratio of like that frame. Sorry, super nerdy.
No, I love it. I love it. But I've tried a couple times going this way because I'm like, it's better quality, right?
Yeah.
Because it's just the one thing I film on my phone. Otherwise, I have cameraman, all this other stuff.
Right.
But on the lives, if I go this way, it doesn't get as many views. And my
Huh.
YouTuber friends say the same thing.
So hang on, just to be super clear, vertical gets you more views.
Yeah. Isn't it weird?
That's
I think
weird.
because it seems more real because it's alive.
Right.
Because it's just like, oh, she's just on her phone. Like
Yeah.
it feels more real.
And I think it's really important for people to like realize that like all of this is experimentation.
It
You try this,
really
you try
is.
this, and say, oh, well, what about this? Like, oh, well, maybe this will work, and maybe that will work. It's like,
Yeah, and for every group, it might be different. Just
Yeah.
because this works for me, it's about finding your secret sauce for your group, right? Some
Totally.
people, ads might be more effective for their thing or, Facebook or,
yeah. And so how much does your group cost? Like, what is your current price?
So it's currently $39 a month.
Yeah, perfect. And just to be like, I love to be super tactical on those lives. Do you invite people into the community one time? Do you do it like
Multiple times.
Okay, so roughly like, is there a period of time, or do you kind of just like intuitively know it's like, oh, it's been like it's time for me to do another invitation or another pitch?
No, it just honestly naturally comes up. I
Cool.
try to do it so it flows really authentically and naturally and try to fit it into what I'm saying. Yeah. Fit it into the conversation depending on what we're talking about. So
Right.
usually I go live for a while, like an hour and a half,
Mhm.
and chat with them. And I would say I probably bring it up like at least 10 times. And it's really effective. I found that's the most effective way.
Wow.
And I get some from Instagram too.
Yeah.
But YouTube's my primary source. It's not as effective on YouTube when I do a podcast and just say below, join my community or put in a promo because I've tried that. I've
Yeah.
tried before we get into this video, like unless I just need to play around with different ways in my messaging.
Yeah.
But the lives are better. And I think it's because they're always like, Gillian, I love how real you are. I love how authentic you are. And I think people have to be more authentic and more real online and you connect with your community more, right?
Yeah.
I think you have to be open to sharing the bad too. A lot of us want to be perfect online, but people can relate to the bad times, right? And you seem more real than if they're like, oh, they're not perfect. They go through hard times too. And
Totally.
so I try share my hard times and then how, the things I've learned through those and the way we can make ourselves better through those hard times too.
Yeah, and live is kind of like the last bastion of online that people know it's not AI and they know it's not pre-recorded, especially if you have that live interaction in the chat. And I think as the world increasingly kind of becomes more isolated and feels less real, having that just like deep connection with someone in a real life moment is going to be like crucial. So
100%. Like
I'm
even when I was
excited.
at the airport on the way here, I see like the restaurants, they're not even like at the counter talking to the person now. It's just on the machine and then you get them in lockers. Like you don't see anybody.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is so disconnected
Right.
now. So we need community more than ever because
Yeah.
we're tribal creatures, right? We need that connection. So it's great.
Totally.
It's great we have school.
Perfect. So that's how you drive people to your About page. That's how you kind of get people to visit your school to present them with an invitation to join.
Yep.
What have been some of your experiments to try to increase your conversion rate on your About page, aka whenever people land on your school About page, to encourage more of them to actually join? Like, have you changed how you present your offer? Have you added like videos? Have you added images? Like, tell me about your About page and how you've tried to increase the conversion rate.
I have changed it up a little bit. And I would say what's helped the most was I do in-person meetups too,
Oh, great.
which are amazing. So my group's only 90 days old. We're about to have our 4th meetup tomorrow. And
4 in 90 days?
I know, right? It's
You're
crazy.
pumping, wow.
Right? It's crazy. So at one of my meetups in LA, my cameraman was there and we were filming a YouTube video. And one of my members, Stacy, she's amazing. She started talking about in the video how she loves Club Raw and it's amazing and went on and on about it for like a few minutes. So I clipped that and put that on my About page.
Oof.
And that I think has helped a lot because I think people want to see real members.
Well, it looks so real.
Exactly.
It's like, oh my goodness, this isn't just this, digital, virtual, ephemeral thing. It's like, wait, these people are in real life with each other? What the heck?
Exactly. And that's how you build the deepest connection, right?
Totally.
So I'm a big fan of the meetups in person.
Cool.
Yeah.
And have you found like positioning your community in a certain way has helped more people join? Because I think sometimes it can be a little bit confusing for new schoolers. Like, well, how do I actually position this thing? Is it a community? Do I focus on the transformations? Like, do you have a promise on your About page? Like, what's your main thing? No promise?
No promises.
Beautiful. Tell me more about that.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people do have promises, I've realized, right?
Well, what I love about like doing this podcast is like, you can't do it wrong. because
True.
everybody just finds a way to make it work. And like you said
Yeah.
earlier, it's like this might work for one community, it might not work for the other. And so I just love to kind of see these experiments.
Yeah, and I think it's about being authentic, being yourself, playing around, finding what works. But no, I don't have any promises. I like to give so much value in my group, and that's kind of my secret sauce. So I outline all the value people are going to get on the page, and then monthly I try to go on there too and update it and say like, April or like say May, and then outline everything that's happening in May. And then I do have a little spot price going up to this soon, so that kind of creates a little bit of urgency. But I basically just, bomb them with all this value. And then I have a video on there that I did in my kitchen, just telling them how awesome Club Raw is and how you get this, this, and this. I put B-roll in from the meetups and then separate meetup videos. And yeah.
Awesome. And based on like your conversation with your members once they get inside, do you have any insight into like the main reason why they join?
To get healthier,
Right.
to not feel like crap,
Right.
and to connect with me.
So the connection with you is actually a big part of it.
It's actually huge, and
Yeah.
I actually hear probably almost every day, Gillian, you're so much more active than any community I've ever been in. This is why I stay here. I love how active you are. I love how you, oh my gosh, you send me a welcome message when I join. You comment through the group. Like, they love that.
Yeah.
So that's important to me because I've belonged to groups too where the owner's not active at all.
Mhm.
And I get it because everybody has a different way. Some people just hire an admin, get the admin to run the whole group, and everybody kind of has a different way, and I respect that.
Yep.
But I like to be really hands-on, connect, and that I think is why my group has done so well.
Sure. And I think it's really important, again, for maybe someone who's earlier on in their school journey, is that like people will only want to connect with you if they have an existing relationship. But they do for you because of the lives, because of all the content, because they listen to your podcasts. So they actually have a desire to be in proximity to you.
Exactly.
And I learned this from Evelyn Weiss. She is the queen of running experiments on Skool. She's the best. And one of the things that she realized is, one of the big reasons why people join is because they want proximity to me.
Exactly.
And it's actually sometimes a little bit difficult for us as creators to own that. Because we're like, no, it has to be about this, has to be about that. And it does. But if you have existing relationships with an audience, that is actually a huge part of it. It's like they want to be in relationship with you. And
It's the hugest.
Skool is a way to do that at scale, because you can't have, how many people are in your group? I could do the math.
There's about 700 right now.
Yeah, it's impossible for you to have 700 one-on-one relationships.
Exactly.
But you can actually have 700 really great relationships in the container of Skool, which I think is super cool.
It's amazing. And you're right. I think the community and the connection come above everything else, right? Even above I offer a lot of ebooks, my course, I'm constantly doing new ebooks and new stuff to add value to keep retention and just to give back to them too.
Yeah.
But I think above all is the community and the connection too. Like I even just did a meetup at my house. Yeah. No, some people were
That's
like,
psycho.
you're crazy.
You're
What are you
awesome."
doing? But it literally was incredible,
Wow.
And I paid for it all, I
course.
hosted it all.
Yeah.
It was literally like a wedding, all the best food. And it felt like a big family reunion. And it's so nice to have
Wow.
so many like-minded people.
Yes.
And it was incredible. So
And then the really cool thing is that then once how many people came to that meetup
About
in your
40.
house? 40 in your house.
and they
So
flew from
epic.
all over.
That's the thing. People want the connection. They're
They
prepared
do.
to, and they're paying $39 a month. And then all of a sudden they're like, yeah, I'll fly halfway across the world.
Exactly.
But the really cool thing is once that event is over, the sense of connection and belonging inside the community like turbocharges.
It's huge. And they're holding their own meetups now too. Like there's one in Arizona happening today and they're doing their own thing too. So it kind of takes on the life of its own too.
Wow. Awesome.
Yeah.
So the third thing that we always like to kind of really, really focus on is, so we've talked about how you drive traffic, which is mainly YouTube Lives.
Mhm.
Awesome format. Love it. You've talked about how you convert people, which is the emphasis on like connecting with you and all the good stuff that they're going to get inside. And I was looking at your About page earlier and I was like, wow, this is very clearly communicated what you get inside.
And one more thing with that, because I am a YouTuber, I do mainly podcasting.
Mhm.
It is like plant-based. So we are in the kitchen a lot with my guests, like doing what Yaki Awakened eats in a day or
Uh-huh.
what this person or Lou Corona or like a lot of these people that are really well known in my space. So I do emphasize that on my page too, that they'll get to connect with these people through me privately in here. Because I
Oh.
do bring in guest speakers also once a month.
Perfect.
Yeah.
So now we know all that. The kind of like only metric that's left from Sam's perspective is retention. So how do you deliver such great results in your community to keep people? Like
Okay.
what do you do to encourage people to stay? Because it's very easy for someone to pay $39 and get in and be like, whatever. And then they bounce out. The kind of like the secret to the community game is how do you engage them over a longer period of time?
Well, definitely first and foremost, connecting with them.
Mhm.
That's the biggest for me. I belonged to groups where I felt like there was no connection. And then I was like, well, I think that's part of the reason that made me leave. So connecting with them is huge. I send everybody a personal welcome message. Like nobody has my account and pretends to be me. I do it all myself.
Right.
Personal welcome message. And I connect with them through the group and I connect with them on our weekly calls. So I would say that that's the biggest. And also, they get so much value. When they join my group, they get every ebook I've ever done, my course, and I'm constantly adding to the classroom. So I just paid a juicing expert to do how to juice fast course. A member in my group just kicked the cravings, got off all meds.
Wow.
She's 100 days like fully healthy. So I'm paying her to do a course how to kick the cravings because she's fresh in it, right?
Sweet.
And I'm also doing detox off caffeine for good if you want to, ebook. So I'm always thinking and how to be like raw socially, health, like ebooks like that. I'm always constantly doing new things to add back to the classroom.
Right.
So they get excited for that. And
Yeah.
then I'll say coming soon, like I posted yesterday, coming soon and listed, there's a fitness guy creating a big fitness course for us too. All this stuff's coming soon. And they know these people creating these courses. So they're excited for all that.
Right.
So I would say that and the popular guest speakers, they want to stay for that. And the connection. I would say those are the main things. And I do a lot of giveaways. I make the group really fun. I think we have to make it fun.
I
Like
think I
the
saw one of
world.
your juicer giveaways or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when I first started the group, I thought I'll give away like 4 juicers a year or something. But I'm really generous. So the more the group grows, the more the group makes. I like to give back.
Right.
So I've given back multiple juicers, multiple plant-based milk makers. We've done $1,000 cash giveaway.
Love it.
We do a lot of giveaways, and that just keeps it fun, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And again, for $39 a month,
Right?
the fact that that your members can feel like, wow, any questions I have about this raw food journey that I'm on, I just have this support system around me. It's like, again, I'm like a big fan of Skool, obviously. I know
Yeah.
it's like a barber telling you need a haircut at this stage,
Yeah.
but I think it's really, really fun that like they can just, any question they have, any support that they need along the way, it's like a container that helps them do that. I want to kind of drill down on your personal welcome message. I know that sounds like super nerdy, but like,
No.
how do you actually do that? Like, what do you write?
I do it fast. Like,
Yeah.
it's like they say the most successful business people, they get back to you right away.
Right.
So as soon as I might be in a podcast or something and not be able to get back to somebody right away, but as soon as I see there's new members, I try to get to the computer or my phone and just say, welcome to Club Raw, Cindy. We're so happy to have you.
Mhm.
Usually I just say something like that.
Right.
You
So
know?
the speed is important.
I mean, I just like to make sure they get their message and do it fairly soon, not
And
wait
so
too
you
long.
don't use an auto DM?
No, I don't.
So you do the personalization.
I do the personalization. And I make it clear in my group. I've actually done a post where I've told them, because somebody said to me, they sent me a concerns and a DM and they said, I was in another group and I thought I was talking to Isabella, but it turned out it was AI.
Right.
So I did a post saying, whenever you guys talk to me in this group, it's me, so, and I'll always keep it that way, even when we get to 3,000 members,
Yeah, that authenticity, I think, is a really important selling point, but also just like it's community. Like you're selling
Yeah.
connection and belonging. Like how weird is it to
Yeah.
have like some sort of fake setup there, And people can
Yeah.
smell it. Like people's ability to
People are
sniff this
smart.
stuff out is getting really, really good.
Exactly. And I just want to say too, like we can't plan everything when we start our school group, right? We have to be open to, we don't really know the culture, what's going to happen.
Mhm.
So we kind of have to go with the flow and keep our creative ideas open. Like when I started my group, I didn't know, like right now, I just hired somebody in my group to run book club. So he does a book club once a week. And then I hired this girl, Shamia. She's so inspiring. She's going to do also calls once a week starting next month because she's very spiritual, very inspiring, just to give more support, right?
Love it.
And then another member who's like a recipe queen. She's doing a recipe demo once a month. So I'm including the members and I also do compensate them like for the hour for doing it. And so I think you have to be open to how your group's going to grow and new ideas and constantly just be open to that.
Yeah. And what I love about what you've said as well is that like a school community is a great way to like surface what people need, what they're struggling with, what their problems are. And then it sounds like you just go crazy and like make resources and ebooks and
I do.
courses to actually satisfy those needs.
And it helps. And they're very grateful. They always say, thank you so much. This is the best group I've ever been a part of. We get so much value. This is crazy. So that was kind of my goal to make people think, I get so much value. I'd be crazy to leave this group, right? Like we want to add value in life. And I
Right.
think that's the best thing to do.
So what has it been like for you becoming a community owner on Skool?
It's been amazing.
Yeah.
I've absolutely loved it. I've thought about starting a group for years, and I almost started a group with somebody else about a year and a half ago, or maybe a year and a half ago. He approached me. He's another YouTuber, and he's like, let's do a group together. And I was like, let's use Skool. And he's like, no, I want to use my own software. And we worked for a year on it. And then last minute, he changed his mind. He's like, I took on too much. I was like, oh my gosh, what? Are you kidding me? It was so crazy. I'm like, I've spent so much on this. But then it was meant to be.
Right.
Because shortly after that, my parents unfortunately both passed away, and I wouldn't have been in a position to run that group. And I think I was destined to run a group on myself and be on Skool. It's
Right.
such a creative outlet too.
Mhm.
So it's hard, I think, in my case, to like share a partnership with this. But it's been amazing. It's changed my life. And I was at a really dark time after losing my parents and being involved in some crazy stuff with that. And that's when I decided to start Skool.
Wow.
So I think, if anybody's, maybe their school's not doing well, or they haven't started a school yet, or they're in a dark place, like, I think it's really important to realize like the bad is not necessarily bad. We have to transmute that energy into something really good. So that's what I always try to do in a dark time. And that's when I started my YouTube channel too, when I was at like a really low time in 2021, going through separation, lost everything.
Mm.
And so, yeah.
Yeah, and I love how you said earlier that actually the bad times can become part of it. And that is actually just an incredible way for you to also connect with people because, dude, everybody's going through a hard time. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like at various points in their life, it's like you can pretty much guarantee that everyone at some point is in a low. And so it
exactly.
actually makes you more relatable and you
It
can use
does.
those things to actually build deep human connections as opposed to, I feel like whenever the whole online thing started kicking off and influencers became a thing, it was very, very fake.
Yeah.
Now there's a shift where it's like it's moving towards that raw mentality, which is like,
Exactly. No, it's so true. Like, even for instance, I won't go too much into it, but about 14 months ago, my dad passed away in the middle of a really bad divorce. So I've been dealing with legal bills that are like 7,500 to 8 to 17,000 every single month.
right.
And so even in a couple of my calls, I opened up a little bit, which maybe a lot of people wouldn't do because we are a leader too. I don't want to unload too much on my group, but I opened up and shared a little bit. And that was it built an even deeper connection with my group by opening up. People see, oh, she's real. She's going
Yeah.
through this too. She's not perfect, right? I think
Yes.
as leaders, even in our group, we don't have to be perfect. So that's really worked in my favor by sharing the hard times.
Yeah. And I love how you use the word leader. Because a
Hmm.
leader is someone who literally like, I'll go first, I'll be the example, kind of follow my example, versus like the guru, which is
Yes.
like gurus have to be perfect, they have to
Yeah.
be flawless, they have to do
Yeah.
no wrong. And then one of my mates always says, like, when you set someone on a pedestal, there's only one place for them to go.
Exactly.
So you do kind of
True.
set yourself up for failure. So I love that word leader. And I think everyone who's a community owner, they're a leader of this tribe around
Yeah.
this passionate thing that everyone's going on a journey together. So it's
Yeah.
super cool.
I love that.
Love to just ask, like, what's your experience been like playing the school games? So you're here in LA. Obviously, you're a winner.
Yeah.
You're out here. I think you said it was like the first, what was it, solo couple trip that you guys
Yeah.
have had without the kids?
Yeah, my it is. My husband and I got married in 2005, and we always had so much time together, right?
Right?
And I remember somebody saying, once you have kids, it's not gonna be like this. And
Yeah,
it does change so
it does.
much. And
Yeah.
you get so busy. Like, I'm an entrepreneur, businesswoman. He is a business guy. We work so hard, and we're never together. So this is a blessing. So we came out together on this trip, and I'm not filming here except for this, which is awesome.
Right.
Usually I always film for my channel, but it's nice.
So
And
good.
I'm so excited to go to the games. It's awesome. And I think just like what a hands-on, amazing, generous, incredible company like Skool is, it's above anything else out there, So it's an honor.
It's beautiful. Gillian, final question. Always end here. What advice would you give to a schooler who's just starting off? So you've obviously been on this huge journey. You've learned a lot along the way. You've won the school games here in LA. About to do the whole school games event tomorrow, which is going to be super fun.
Yep.
For someone who's maybe just come in on a free trial, or they've got like 15 members in their group, and they're just in that figuring it out stage. What advice would you give, tactical or inspirational, or whatever way you want to take it?
Yeah, I would make sure, obviously, that your niche is something you're super, super passionate about because I think that's important. Even when I started YouTube or started this, I was like, okay, is this something I think I could do for like 20 years at least? Like, that's how I think about things. Something you're really, really passionate about and not put the money first, put the value first. Think, how can I add value? Instead of thinking like, what can I take? What can I get? Like, what can you give? I
Right.
think when we serve society in general and our communities, our groups, right? That's how we'll reap the most rewards anyway. And be authentic, be you, you know?
Awesome. Well, Gillian, thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you so much.
We'll post this in Schoolers, obviously. And if anyone's any questions for Gillian, just drop them in the comments below. And I'm sure
I'll
you'll
reply.
be happy to jump in
I'd love
and
to.
answer any questions. So, thanks, guys. Really appreciate you.
Thanks so much.
Bye-bye.
Bye. That was great. Thanks so much. That was fun.